In the vast land of Africa, where storms rise as symbols of strength and life, there exists a small village called Mbala. The village is located deep in the jungle, where people's lives are closely linked to the land and the fairy tales of historical heroes. Among the villagers, there is a young man named Malik, who is known for his bravery and strong patriotism. Malik grew up with the dream of improving the lives of his village, under the leadership of his grandparents, the chief, who told him stories of the heroes who had gone before. Malik decided to set out in search of new resources. Stories of mysterious lands where precious resources could be found stimulated his curiosity and desire to explore. Malik's journey was not an easy task. He had to overcome the dangerous challenges of the wild forest, from ferocious beasts to unexpected forces from invaders. On the way, suddenly, a rumbling noise from the front made Malik press his sharp weapon tightly. Ready to face all dangers, a huge wild beast suddenly appeared with rage on its face. It was a giant lion, ready to attack to protect its territory. Malik did not hesitate to rush into battle. His weapon shaking with the sound echoing in the dense forest space, the two forces attacked each other. The sound of swords rang out accompanied by the fierce roar of the lion. Although Malik was brave and courageous, the lion had more strength and combat experience. After a fierce battle, Malik lay on the ground, his body tired and in pain, when the lion was about to launch the finishing blow. A warrior with a muscular body suddenly appeared from the shade of the dense trees. He was an experienced man, with a bright smile, and bright eyes of a man who had experienced many battles. He quietly rushed to save Malik, launching attacks like a wise hunter. Finally, with the cooperation of the two, the lion was defeated and had to retreat. Malik looked into the eyes of the man who had just saved him, grateful for the help that did not come from nature but from his generosity. From then on, Malik and this strange but brave man became friends, working together to find new challenges and goals in their lives. After overcoming the first danger, Malik continued his journey into a dry desert. The harsh weather and thirst along with the vast sand and dust made Malik almost exhausted and thought he would die here. He had to struggle with himself to find a source of water under the scorching sun in the vast desert in the hope of finding a clean water source to continue the journey. Finally, after many days and nights of hard work, Malik found a source of water in the heart of the desert. It was a source of cool, fresh water, bringing new life to him and to those who accompanied him on this journey. On the way to find new resources, Malik had to overcome many difficulties and dangers. Not stopping there, when he entered a dense forest that he had never explored, with his companion who had saved him, a person who had shared all the hardships and joys during the journey. However, on a winding road in the deep forest, they suddenly lost each other in the dream called the jungle. Malik felt lost and lonely, but the need to survive pushed him to continue. He continued walking through the dense forest, hoping to find traces of his friend. However, the next challenge appeared. Malik accidentally strayed into the territory of a local tribe, a tribe he had never heard of, and they seemed unfriendly. Malik was captured and tied to a pole in the harsh sun. Malik had to face strict questioning from this tribe. They did not trust him and thought that Malik was an invader or an outside investigator. After many days of fighting in the feeling of losing freedom and longing for freedom, Malik gradually found a way to escape from this bondage. With intelligence and courage, Malik finally escaped from the bondage and continued his journey. Although he lost some of his food and equipment, he was determined to continue, because he knew that his goal was more important than any challenge on the way. However, the challenges were not only external. Malik also had to face the fears and pains from the past, and the internal struggles to maintain his faith and determination. Every step, every new encounter was a lesson, an opportunity for Malik to grow and understand more about himself and the world around him. After many days of arduous travel through harsh terrain and overcoming numerous challenges, Malik finally found a water source in a beautiful valley hidden deep in the forest. This water source is not only a precious source of drinking water for the entire village, but also an important resource for agricultural development and daily life of Mbala residents. In addition to finding a precious water source, Malik also discovered many rare fruit varieties in the valley he explored. These fruits have special flavours and nutritional values, and can grow well in the climate and soil conditions of Mbala. With his understanding of agriculture and biological resources, Malik decided to divert water from the source he found, bringing these precious fruit varieties to his home. He spent many days and nights caring for and planting these fruit trees, hoping to bring a new and abundant food source to Mbala village. Malik's bringing back of these precious fruit varieties is not only to improve the material life, but also to contribute to preserving and developing the cultural and ecological identity of the village. His efforts are not only a personal achievement, but also a precious gift that he gives to the whole community, sowing the seeds of hope and happiness for future generations. Returning to the village, Malik was welcomed as a hero, who bravely overcame all difficulties to bring a bright future to the whole village. He was honored not only for his success in finding resources, but also for his courage and tireless sacrifice throughout the journey. Malik is satisfied with his achievements. He knows that this search is not only to improve the lives of the tribe, but also to build pride and confidence in his own abilities and the people of Mbala village. After bringing back the seeds, Malik devoted his efforts to teaching and guiding the entire village on how to grow crops. With his extensive knowledge of agriculture and excellent leadership skills, Malik guided the Mbala residents on how to care for and cultivate these crops. He taught them how to treat the soil, how to water the crops, and how to protect the crops from pests. Thanks to Malik's dedicated guidance, the Mbala residents had bountiful harvests from the crops he brought back, helping them live a more prosperous and happier life than ever before. Malik's contributions were not limited to providing resources, but also to teaching and imparting knowledge to the community. With the efficiency and success of his farming, Malik became an ideal model and a great symbol in the hearts of the Mbala people. They hailed him as a god, a person who brought life and happiness to the entire community. The tributes were not only a deep expression of gratitude, but also a tribute and remembrance to Malik, who had made a huge difference in their lives. Malik had become a symbol of hope and a pioneer for the sustainable development and prosperity of Mbala. The villagers had erected a large statue in the middle of the village to commemorate his merits, and his story would be passed down through the generations of Mbala forever.